Good evening and welcome to the Vernon Township Supervisors meeting for June 5th, 2025. We'll start with prayer and salute to the flag. Heavenly Father, we come today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of community. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Amy.
Davis.
Here.
Stone.
Here.
Maloney.
Here.
Snyder.
Here.
Carnes.
Here. Any citizen comment this evening? We will have another opportunity at the end of the meeting. Of a motion to approval of minutes for the May 1st, 2025 Supervisors meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Motion. Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Not in favor? Approved. Finances, motion to direct the treasurer to issue checks for the approved vouchers due for payment.
So moved.
The motion in second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Not in favor? Motion to ratify payroll for the employees from April 26th, 2025 through May 31st, 2025, and the supervisor's pay.
So moved.
Motion
Second.
and second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Not in favor? We have no correspondence. I'm moving right along. Road report, Joel Stone, Roadmaster.
Good evening, Supervisors. Road report for June 5th, 2025. We started the first round of mowing around the berms. Most of the roads have been mowed. There's a couple that we still need to get out and get. Multiple storms have moved through, rain events, so we've had a lot of cleanup, which kind of leads to we've been out filling the berms, the edges of the road. We've had some washing issues here and there, filled holes in both the gravel and the blacktop roads, cleaned and stabilized ditches, spray patch scenic drive. We've been out replacing signage as we see that it needs to be replaced, and we've also started to add no littering signs to different spots in the township. On the water side of things, we assisted the operator with repacking and some pump maintenance down at the water plant itself, pump station. Roach Park, we added mulch to the playground and cut up and removed the tree that went down the other day. Lincoln Ave, we continued to remove the garbage from the playground, and we added some fill to the infields for 2 and 4. Equipment-wise, truck 20 just went up today for an inspection at HRB Trucks in McCain. Truck 22 is still a 5-star international for state inspection and having the front end service done. The only other thing I have, Supervisors, is, as we all know, school's just about out or has finished, depending on where you're at. Be cognizant while we're driving around, there's going to be kids out, sometimes a little bit later at night, and they like to wear dark colored clothing and stuff like that. So just, be careful while we're out, we're moving around. That's all I have.
Thank you, Joel. Any questions?
The fill for the infield, is that some special blend or is that much cost?
Actually, we got material, it's pond silt from Lakeland Aggregates over in Conneaut Lake. It's the same stuff that's been put on infields for a lot of the ball fields for 30 plus years. There's a lot better mix out there, and I believe fields 1 and 3 down at Lincoln Ave have that on it, so we didn't add anything to that. We're just trying to get years of use, and no replenishment meant there was a lot of low spots. So as we had time, and with the request of the Mark and the softball league, we're trying to help fix it up as we have time.
Anything else for Joel? Thank you, Joel. Admin, zoning report, Robert Horvat, manager.
Yep. Good evening, everyone. As we discussed in the work session earlier this evening, there's a wide range of activities going on in the township. From a subdivision and land development perspective, before you tonight for approval, is the Lepley subdivision as well as the parking lot expansion for the Economic Progress Alliance at the Crawford Business Park. Both have been reviewed by the Township and County Planning Commissions and are recommended for board approval tonight. Elsewhere in the township, we continue to see prospective development with things going through the Planning Commission, but not yet before the supervisors, such as a parking lot expansion at the Ayala Salon and Spa, an expansion of the Rise Dispensary, and the proposed 7 Brew on Route 322. All of those developments still need to satisfy some either stormwater management issues, NPDES permit issues, or floodplain issues before they can be brought before you for approval. Administratively, the township continues to work on and develop a more effective ordinance for property maintenance. When we were through with it, ideally, no one will have to be concerned with the health, safety, and well-being of a neighborhood being affected due to trash, rubbish, or other violations. We continue to work forward on our Arley grant application for the modernization of the traffic signal at Carney Lake Road and Shaw and PA Avenues. We've received good comments back from PennDOT from our pre-scoping application, and we'll continue with the complete submission this month. Joel and I have been exploring a new salt storage facility for the township. This project will allow us to stockpile salt so we don't have to worry about running short during a long winter snow event. And also, this new structure will be better for our equipment as it will remove a corrosive material, salt, from the building. This building would be funded by this year's capital accounts that would be repaid by the township in 2026. Keeping with the road department, Joel likes to remind me that he's the most expensive part of the township. So we're recommending for purchase tonight a new JCB 3CX14 at a cost of $152,000 from Stevenson Equipment. This would be purchased via CoStar's contract. This backhoe will replace a JCB 3X15 that was purchased in 2012 for $108,631.98. The 2012 will be sold either via municipal bid auction at a later date or used as a trade-in, as Stevenson Equipment has valued that piece of equipment at $32,000. Also this evening, the township will be making its allocation of $50,000 to the capital fund for police services. This makes nearly $99,000 in that account for future services. And as a reminder for those that don't know, the township is allocating savings from our contract with the city of Meadville into a capital account so it can be utilized for police services in 18 years when the contract is up. And finally, I just want to thank the road department for the great job they did at cleanup day, and thanks to all the residents that took advantage of it.
Thank you, Rob. Any questions for Rob? Comments?
I got one. First of all, great job on the audit. That's terrific. Are you guys going to like a radar detection versus the loop detection?
Yes, it'd be overhead radar detection. It's very similar to what's
To
in,
what we already have?
yeah, down at the grocery street.
That's good.
Or, yeah.
The loops have always been a problem.
Yeah.
Good job, by the way. It's nice. Those things aren't cheap.
No.
Amy, does she need raw water?
She went out to go to the fountain.
Anything else for Rob? All right, thank you, Rob. Police report, Chief Stefanucci, the Meadville Police Department.
Good evening. May 2025 police report. The police department responded to 374 calls for service in the township. In the month of May, we had 10 traffic accidents, which is kind of a downturn from the past several months, which is good. Officers conducted 133 traffic stops, issuing 84 citations and 51 warnings, and we made 13 criminal arrests during the month of May in the township. The summer's here, things are starting to pick up. We've had a few more serious crimes pop up in the city and in the township. Just remind everybody to be safe, call us if you need us, and keep your eye out. And if you see something, say something. We've had reports of some people in different neighborhoods that were suspicious. Residents have called, we've checked it out, everything's been okay, but we don't mind the phone calls, make the call.
Great. Anything for the chief?
Have you been able to pick up anybody on the motorcycles, the crotch rockets, or the...
I I could look and bring it to you
Got
next
one,
month
but
and tell
she's not
you.
as active on the road.
I'm mulling you would know.
Yeah, and tell you the stats of what are motor vehicles versus motorcycles.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's,
or you hear them and then you see them.
you see them in
And
the
you
car.
don't see it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly get a few motorcycles.
22, they get-
But, sometimes we get behind them and then we're not behind them anymore.
Yeah, right.
We got in a pursuit the other night in the township that went out 79 down to Grove City, back up. And spike stripped them around the deck,
But they seem to be in pairs a lot of times, you know.
Yeah, they'll take off split up. You gotta weigh the risk versus reward.
Anything else? I'll just let you know, I continue to get compliments on your service and especially the officers, the people that have dealt with them were very complimentary as to their.
Thank you.
Response time has been good too. I know of a situation today where a call was made in within minutes, literally within minutes, there was an officer there.
The officers like working for the people in Vernon and they enjoy coming up here and it's doing well.
Keep up the good work. Thank you. Engineers report, we have Kevin here, Kevin Mullen for Ashley Porter Engineering.
Good evening, Supervisors. Just kind of want to echo what Rob said. We've reviewed numerous land development, stormwater management plans, whether it be new developments and/or additions to existing, and most of them are in various stages of responding to comments and stuff other than what's on the agenda tonight. Other than that, just working with Rob as necessary on issues, cost estimates, whatever he may have. And as always, still fielding lots of questions on ordinances and regulations to develop in the township, as well as infrastructure questions on availability of sewer and water and things like that. So there's still a lot of interest in the spots that we still have available in the township. So it's good for everybody there. So
Great.
that's about it. So.
Thank you. Anybody have anything for Kevin? So, thank you.
Thank you.
Solicitors report, do you have anything, Rob?
No, we're not being sued currently, so that's good.
Okay, moving on to new business, motion to approve EPACC Crawford Business Park West Parking Area Expansion, which is down at the former Avtex facility, an expansion on the parking lot because of their expansion in employees, which is great. So, a motion to approve that? So, motion?
Second.
And second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Not in favor? All right, motion to approve the Richard D. and Joanne R. Lepley and David R. Lepley re-subdivision. Is that what we want to call it?
Yeah, that's what the drawing's titled.
Yeah. Which is just, changing property lines down for the Lepleys on 322. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Not in favor? Great. Old business, motion to approve, based off the recommendation of the roadmaster, to purchase a new JCB 3CX14 at a cost of $152,000 through CoStar's contract 44, well, it's a CoStar's contract with 10 digits, so. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. The CoStar's it just prevents that we have to go through a bidding process. It's all set up through the state. So this is the best price we can get. And Any other discussion on that? All in favor? Aye. Not in favor? Motion to approve township manager and township secretary treasurer to execute all paperwork for the purchase of the new JCB 3CX14.
Make that motion.
Have a motion?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Not in favor? All right, a motion to approve purchase of an additional 3-year warranty for the new JCB 3CX14 at a cost of $6,000.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Not in favor? We did discuss all of this previously in depth at the work session, so. Upcoming meetings and events for Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025, will be the Vernon Township Supervisors Work Session at 6:30, and followed by, on July 2nd, 2025, Vernon Township regular meeting at 7:30 p.m. So that'll bring us to supervisors' comments, and we'll just start with you, John, and move across.
Just like to reiterate what other people have said, school's out, kids are gonna be running around. They're gonna be running around down at Roach Park, and I'm sure they're not gonna be looking both ways before they take off across. So just be aware of what's happening around you.
Thank you, John. Fritz?
Yeah, I had actually a question I wanted to ask you, Robbie, or, well, you, I suppose, really. The cut-through going to Aldi's from 98 at Sheets and the
Yep.
car wash. I know that's not our road, but I have, 3 or 4 people all the time asking me, isn't there something that can be done, or can we send a letter to the, who's in charge of that, the land?
So is the
I mean,
owner,
the potholes are really a problem.
the property owner that they own the shed, like they own that, that's a
Yeah.
leased facility there. And
I
then
can't believe that Sheets
area
with their
behind-
muscle. Yeah.
the undeveloped portion is still owned by a developer out of Pittsburgh that
Yeah.
owns that and is
Well,
responsible
I think
for
we
it.
all agree, it's just, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but I don't have an ordinance that says,
Right.
you have to maintain the parking lot.
That we can't send a letter, just saying that, hey, we constantly are getting complaints or something like that, that might, have them
I
put some
can,
attention to it or something.
I can reach
I mean,
out.
no, we can't enforce anything, I realize that.
But I'm gonna make an assumption here. I'm going to assume that Sheets has probably reached out as well, and I think the tenant would have a little more sway than what we would. So I'm
Right.
assuming there's probably, probably not much we can do. But I can try, I can inquire.
I don't know, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, send a letter from the
Yeah,
township just
yeah.
to say, hey,
That wouldn't hurt. But isn't there anything in our land development ordinances that requires maintenance of those things? I'm asking an engineer. I always thought there was something.
Not like, the only thing it's not a stormwater issue. If it was a stormwater issue, then it falls under, the O&M agreement that we have, but we don't have anything in the subdivision or land development ordinance that says, after the parking lot goes in or the road goes in, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, you have to do a mill and fill or anything like that. You build it at the time, the bond's released, and
but it's June, you would think they'd at least fill it in for it to,
It's been bad
Not
for
back
a
out.
long
Oh, forever,
time. too.
yeah.
And with Mod Wash opening up, man, there's a ton
just,
more traffic going in and out.
And they patched everything last year when Mod Wash went in.
Yeah.
And the problem is it needs to be milled down and paved. I mean, if you patch it, it's just gonna blow back out. So,
I would suggest at least send a letter.
yeah,
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. It might kick them in the butt to do
I
something.
can try.
And the other comment I had to finish up is on a cleanup day, just to reach out to our employees, our road crew, and the guys from Tri-County. They work as hard as anybody there. I mean, those guys are terrific from Tri-County, how they jump in there and participate. And Scott, he brought some coffee and donuts, which was real nice of them to stop with that. That was welcome. It was a typical cleanup day, it seems, at least, well, I think I remember one that was dry, but it just rained from 7 a.m. on, and everybody just got soaked. But pretty good participation. We talked about it in the work session, and it was down slightly this year, but still, folks are using that, and that's a good thing. And I don't know, maybe next year we can even talk about cutting it by another hour. We went from 3 to what, 2? Is that what we
Yeah,
went?
I mean, there was
We
six,
only had, what, 1 or 2 cars at 1 o'clock or whatever?
there was 6 people in the last hour, but it does give the guys an opportunity to kind of wrap things up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if at this point we want to do it. We can keep an eye on it and see where it is over the next couple of years. I mean, but
It's a long day.
While you're on the cleanup day, the very generous donations this year.
Right.
So I think
Yeah.
that was the highest.
Which they were up from last year, and we had less cars, but, right,
Which is really great. All that money goes straight to the fire department.
correct, yeah.
So that, you know, the cleanup day is free, no charge for any township employees, but we have a box out there for donations. So it's great. Yes, Dave?
First thing, I'd like to thank this board and the administrative staff for allowing me to attend the Pennsylvania State Association of Townships Conference. And just to show you the numerous seminars and sessions that they offer, it's really terrific. Had an opportunity to go down and meet with Michelle Brooks at the state capitol. She says she's still working on trying to help us with financing for the Roach Park Miracle Field. But perhaps the most enlightening thing that I was able to obtain was Robbie and I sat through a session on what we discussed at the work session on property maintenance. And it's one of the things that really, it was mentioned during the work session, I'd like to mention it again right now. Our community will be the way that we want it to be, what we work for. Right now, we react instead of being proactive in terms of going out and looking at junk in communities and dilapidated cars and buildings. And I hope we can get a better system, that we become more proactive, that whether we hire somebody to go out and look around, Robbie, you know, instead of waiting to get that phone call, hey, this guy's got 30 junk vehicles in his yard, are you gonna do anything about it? You know, that we see it ahead of time and have some type of enforcement that requires these people that want to clean up the junk, mow their grass, and if they got dilapidated properties, take care of them. I mean, and I don't think it's a lot to ask. We just need to prepare the right ordinances and set up the right enforcement system so that it does become a beautiful community. And 99% of Vernon Township is absolutely gorgeous, but it's that 1-2%. And I had a guy come into my yard just 2-3 days ago, made me aware. I drove by it 30 times. I never looked. All of a sudden I looked and there's 20 cars in this guy's backyard. You know, so I hope we can move forward with something, and I hope we continue to move forward with our limited capabilities that we have now. But I'd really like to see us do a much better job at keeping the community a beautiful community. That's all I have.
Thank you, Dave. Good point. Scott?
Along with the summer, farm equipment on the road. Be patient.
I saw you
We'll
out
get
there.
out of your way eventually. Just be patient with us. I mean, it's tough. We are on the road, so that's about all I got.
Okay, great. As always, I'd like to thank Armstrong Utilities for being here and videoing the meeting, and Meadville Tribune, Jane's here to cover it. And I'd just like to have everyone enjoy the summer. Hopefully it'll quit raining and we can enjoy it. So with that, I'd like to have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.